Okay, people, we have waited all year long, and it's finally here. The 2020 list of the top 10 most selling manga, and boy, I've been dying to see this list, I'm not gonna lie to you, ever since the end of last year, because last year there was a lot of controversy, a lot of discrepancies where people were saying, oh no, don't listen to Oricon, because Oricon, in case you don't know, Oricon is the people that usually put out the sales numbers and all of that jazz every month, every week, and all of that stuff, and in particular, people always have sourced that for the end of year top selling manga of the year and whatnot. But last year, due to the fact that there was a discrepancy between the sales for the One Piece manga and Demon Slayer manga, because Shueisha came out with their own list that put One Piece at the top, people were going back and forth. One Piece fans were saying don't listen to Oricon, even though we've listened to Oricon every year, but last year, for whatever reason, we're not supposed to listen to Oricon. I think, oh, it's okay this year to listen to Oricon, right? Like, but this year, it is insane. The change up, this is right here starting to look like really the end of an era, because not only is the top 2 different, it's even down to number 3. Which you're gonna be surprised at this list. You're going to be surprised, fam. So without further ado, instead of giving all the jibber jabber, let's get into again the top 10 selling manga of 2020. And just to add one extra note, the reason why it's now, it's because the way they count their months and whatnot, just yesterday they counted the end of the fiscal year of manga sales, because the magazines, everything ends with 52 being last week, or you know, the week that just passed. So yeah, that's why this is when we get the manga sales for top 10 selling manga of 2020. Let's do it.
I say we gonna do what we do, no matter how you move, make your move. That's how it be though.
So coming in at number 10, I want to say we're 11 years deep into this manga being out, and about 8 years almost deep into the manga having its big explosion with the anime dropping in 2013, and also within another couple months it will have ended. Attack on Titan still hanging in there. Number 10 hasn't had an anime season. Well, it's been a little bit, right? I think it had an anime season last year, if I'm not mistaken, or the year prior to that. But we got the upcoming season about a week away, less than a week and whatnot. Attack on Titan came in number 10, selling 4,362,012 copies, so 4.3 million copies for Attack on Titan. The length of it going, for it feeling like a seinen, it not being the typical shonen series, shonen battle or anything like that. Attack on Titan to still be going strong with everything that it's already accomplished. Major props to Attack on Titan. It is very well deserving, and with the series inching towards wrapping up again, I want to say it won't pass probably March of next year of it finishing, if that, to be honest with you. Going out really strong, top 10 of 2020, and yeah, it's been going for a while. I mean, don't get me wrong, some manga have been going longer or whatever, but Attack on Titan was an anomaly. It'll always, in my book, be one of those series that came out of nowhere, exploded, and kept going and kept going and kept going. So shouts out to Attack on Titan, number 10. Coming in at number 9 is a fairly new series that, honestly, it doesn't have an anime yet. It definitely will at this point, but it doesn't have an anime yet. It's not a battle series per se. It's in Shonen Jump Plus, and coming in at number 9 is Spy X Family with 4,541,589 copies. So about little 200,000, I want to say a little over 200,000 over Attack on Titan. This is another I would call anomaly, because it's not like the traditional, again, it's not a battle series, it's not even a romance series per se. It's like a really different type of story with like assassins and this little girl that she could read minds. It's really weird, but for it to do 4.5 million, and from what I read, I really enjoyed it. I love the tone. It feels as though it's like family friendly, but also at the same time it could get crazy too. And yeah, I'm excited to see where the series goes, especially after it gets its anime. This could be top 3 after it gets an anime, if it doesn't even have one yet. It's a Shonen Jump Plus title. It's not even like in the main magazine, and it's doing big numbers like this. Coming in at number 8, you know this series very well. At the very least, you've heard of it if you're not already caught up on the manga or the anime or both. My Hero Academia, doing 6,003,589 copies. So My Hero Academia which it's wild to say. My Hero Academia outsold Attack on Titan this year, and Attack on Titan, it's had some enormous chapters in the last year, but it's outsold Attack on Titan and of course Spy X Family, 6 million. I think this is better than last year, if I'm not mistaken. The last couple of years, I want to say this is the biggest year My Hero Academia has had since like 2018, if I'm not mistaken. So very, very dope stuff there. 6 million copies sold, and I'm expecting within the next year or two for it to do even grander. The manga has been amazing. They got movies lined up, they got the anime season lined up. Really, really dope stuff, and very deserving for My Hero Academia. I love the series. I already know. I've been talking about it for damn near, I think, 5 or 6 years or some shit. Like, yeah, My Hero Academia greatness. Coming in at number 7, a series that every time I read it off this list, I'm like, how the hell, what the hell? But apparently people say that it's dope. The Quintessential Quintuplets, coming in at 6,145,591 copies. I don't know much about the series, so I can't really speak on it other than I've heard good things. Funny enough, I was actually on, I don't know, some streaming service last night, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, I want to say it was like the anime. I was like, oh, I should check it out. And then I was like, maybe I'll get to it, and that's been kind of like the case with it. And again, I've heard great things about it, so I'm not trying to downplay it or anything like that, but I just haven't give it the time of day yet. I probably should at some point. It's doing numbers for a reason, right? So yeah, Quintessential Quintuplets coming in at number 6. A series that it probably won't even be on the top 10 starting next year because it has ended. The Promised Neverland. 6,368,445 copies. Really, really dope to see it going out with a bang, coming in at number 6 in the top 10 manga of 2020. You know, the ending, you could argue the quality of it or whatnot, but in terms of like the spirit that it had, in terms of like it ushering in, I feel as though The Promised Neverland was one of the series that helped usher in the new age of darker shonen and darker storytelling in Shonen Jump. Like, you know, I think it made way for the series like Chainsaw Man and stuff like that, where it just feels darker, you know, darker toned, just like, holy shit. Especially The Promised Neverland, it's like these little kids, they're freaking tiny, and they're dealing with these crazy problems and shit like that. I'm definitely not gonna forget The Promised Neverland, and yeah, it's crazy to see it doing that and going out with a freaking major bang. Again, you could argue maybe you didn't like the ending, maybe you hated the way it turned after a certain point, but Promised Neverland doing big, big things as it exits the magazine. We've already reached the top 5, people, and you're about to be blown away with number 5. You're about to be like, oh my gosh, because to be honest with you, when I first heard that it was doing these numbers, I was like, oh shit, oh wow, we already here, fam. Because coming in at number 5, top 5, Jujutsu Kaisen with 6,702,736 copies. Mind you, Jujutsu Kaisen, where it's at right now, I want to say, well, we're 9 episodes in, 9 episodes of an anime, and it is already at 6.7 million. I can only imagine, and this is going to be a 24 episode anime if I'm not mistaken, what those numbers are going to look like next year, because I've been seeing each and every week the back catalog doing 500,000, 2 million, all sorts of crazy numbers and stuff. But for Jujutsu Kaisen, we're barely into the anime, we're not even halfway through the anime yet, to already have beaten The Promised Neverland, My Hero Academia, and Attack on Titan. Oh, it is getting that Demon Slayer boost. Believe me, we're in the midst of it right now, and I can't even believe it, to be honest. Mappa's doing his thing. I can believe it because like the writing is great, the story, the manga itself, the source material is great, and that's usually now seemingly the case. In order for something to be successful, it needs 2 major things at the very least, and that's a great story, great source material, and a great studio to do a great adaptation. And Jujutsu Kaisen checks both boxes in a big major way. So major shouts out to Jujutsu Kaisen, definitely on its way to being one of the pillars of Shonen Jump. 6.7 million top 5 manga already, and we only got 9 episodes of the anime out. Major congrats there. Coming in at number 4, another giant that is exiting the magazine that is known as Shonen Jump, Haikyuu. 7.2 million, 7,212,099 copies. Haikyuu leaving in a major way as well. It's been a year of exitings for like long-running series that have been around for a while. We just talked about Promised Neverland. Haikyuu is another major staple that has ended, and wow, 7 million. It's crazy when you think about it that they they, I guess, to a certain degree, quote unquote, allow, or these authors even want to leave. I mean, don't get me wrong, those numbers are great. I'm sure the money is great or whatever, but we also know what it's like, you know, the life of a mangaka, so it's understandable. But going out on top, 7.2 million, this reminds me of like when Kuroko no Basket, when the author ended the manga back in the day and how it was doing insane numbers towards the end of its run. Major congrats to Haikyuu, top 4, doing 7.2 million. I don't know if it'll be here next because that was literally the last volume. It probably won't be in the top 10, but that was crazy, yo, exiting in a major way. Now, top three. This is going to shock you. You're going to be very surprised. You are going to be like, oh, I can't believe it. I can't. It is not real. Because coming in at number 3, and you're going to be like, this is 3. What is 1 and 2? Coming in at number 3 is dun dun dun. Okay, let me not drag it out. One Piece. And you're probably like, what? This is the first year in probably a decade or more that One Piece is not top 1, top 2, but let alone top 1. There was a discrepancy again with last year of whether it was Demon Slayer or One Piece that was going to be on top. Clearly, obviously, it's not One Piece, but also for it to hit number 3, I don't know when was the last time. It might have been 2009 or earlier that One Piece was not in the top 10 selling manga of a year that it was in, because this is nuts. And it just makes you think, well, wait a minute, what's at the top? But One Piece with a very respectable, you know, this is coming from 1999 now. We're running, what, 20 something years at this point. 7,709,667 copies. On top of that, I'm sure One Piece, because we only had, what, 20 something chapters released in 2020, it probably only had 1 or 2 volumes released. So 7.7 million is still insane, great, and they're not worried at all. It's not like One Piece is on the chopping block, but you're definitely seeing that other titans. What's happening here, it's not like One Piece is on a major decline per se. I'm sure it's not doing the best it's ever done, but it's not that it's like just completely sliding downhill. It's that a lot of other series are getting major recognition, which is insane, but it's happening. And yeah, One Piece, still great numbers, great positioning, but this is the first time in over a decade at the very least that it is not number 1 or number 2. Like last year was a discrepancy. There's no discrepancy this year. One Piece number 3 in the top 10 manga of 2020. Insane. So by now in the video, you're like, okay, if One Piece came in number 3, what the hell is 1 and 2? You have maybe an idea of what one of them are, but I'm sure you're like, what is it? Number 2, there's no discrepancy here. Kingdom with 8.2 million, 8,251,058 copies, besting One Piece's 7.7. That's nothing but, honestly, you can only argue that is just straight quality. I read like a few chapters of Kingdom back in the day. I've never been caught up or anything like that, but from everything I've heard about Kingdom, it's just straight off quality that it is selling, which is phenomenal. I know that the anime, nobody really rocks with the anime like that. It's been like 2 CGI fests. People don't really rock with the Kingdom anime like that. It's not popular. It's not liked by the fandom in any form or fashion. So that's definitely quality. That's definitely the storytelling and having a very strong fandom. And major props to Kingdom, doing it the old fashioned way. No anime to push it, no anime boost. It is doing it itself. And the biggest thing I take away from that is, yeah, I need to read Kingdom ASAP. And of course you're like, well, that leaves 1, and I'm sure you know what it is, but I'm sure you're probably like, by how much? By how much? With everything we've heard this year, how much did Demon Slayer come in number 1? Because number 1 is Demon Slayer. And it's wild that Kingdom did 8.2 million, right? Demon Slayer did 82 million, literally did 10 times more than the second place. And if I'm not mistaken, even if you add up every single series that it came in between slots 2 through 10, they still don't equal to the sales that Demon Slayer did. This is a freak of nature type of situation. This is something that is just inexplainable. You couldn't explain it even if you tried, because it's unheard of. 82 million sales. I think One Piece had the record with, what was it, 37 million? 82 million. I don't know if in my lifetime we'll ever see anything like this again. It's clear that this is something that resonated very strongly with the Japanese because it was set in the feudal era. It has a lot of things that is in their culture and whatnot ingrained heavily in it. Insane. 82,345,447 copies for Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. And that's that the final volume, if I'm not mistaken, hasn't dropped, which more than likely Demon Slayer will be top 3 at the very least next year, just off that volume alone, not to mention backlog. There's a possibility Demon Slayer, with being completely over, will still top next year's list. That is nuts, because the movie is still running in theaters over there in Japan, and you know that's gonna run for a bit. And then not to mention if they announce a season 2 or any type of little sequels of some sort, spin-offs or anything like that, oh my gosh, that's gonna be crazy. That'll probably be the first time that at the very least, even if it's top 5, top 3 of a manga that is over, will be in the top list of best-selling manga. But Demon Slayer, the words can't even describe what it has done. We'll probably never see anything like this again. I thought Attack on Titan would have been the one to slay One Piece, but it was Demon Slayer last year, and this year it slayed everything. Literally combining them all doesn't equate to what Demon Slayer did. Major shouts out to Koyoharu Gotoge, the author, the mangaka of Demon Slayer. And yeah, I know Shueisha's like, ching, we got that bread, we got that cake, fam. I'm very curious what you guys thought about this list, though. Were you shaken up by it? Were you surprised? Did anything place in certain areas? Do you wish something was more successful? Are you surprised that, like, especially the top 3, fam, like, it's wild. And again, I'm not celebrating One Piece losing, because it didn't lose 7.7 million with like 1 or 2 volumes released in the year. It didn't lose shit. It's just that there's other series that are getting recognition and whatnot. But were you surprised to see that One Piece was bested by not only Demon Slayer with this enormous amount, but Kingdom? I think that's one of the biggest takeaways from this, because we've known all year long that Demon Slayer more than likely was going to be number 1 by a large margin. We did not expect for Kingdom to come in at number 2, beating out One Piece, with, again, no anime that anybody gives a shit about. No one cares about its anime. Zero. Like, nobody's like, oh, put that Kingdom anime on. They love the manga, fam. So, insane. And your thoughts and expectations for next year, 2021's top manga selling list. I'm expecting a few of those to fall off. Obviously, the ones that ended. Promised Neverland won't be there. Haikyuu won't be there. I'm expecting Demon Slayer to still be at the very least top 5. Attack on Titan might not be on there. I think there's going to be a volume or 2, so it might hang on. It'll be top 20 at the very least, but I'm not sure about being top 10. My Hero might rise a bit. Jujutsu Kaisen, I could see a top 3 contender as well. And I expect Chainsaw Man to be top 10 next year. I'm calling it now, but we gotta wait and see. And yeah, that was it, people. Top 10 best-selling manga of 2020. That's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life. Boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in. And you guys just witnessed history, fam. New big 3 best-selling manga at the very least. Like, wow, crazy.
It's nights like this and times like this that I can give another hit. But I've got this inside a switch, a natural bliss. But